Hi, good evening, everyone. Is my voice audible? Yes, just a quick confirmation. Hello, hi, Anurag. Hi, Neha. Hi, VC Sonic. Yeah, all right. Is it audible? Yes, clear, crystal clear. Yes, no, just let me know in the chat. All right, thank you for the confirmation. All right, so what we have covered till now is we have covered the Flexbox, we have covered, we have learned about the positioning, we have also covered a lot of stuff yesterday. So let's get started today. And today we'll be covering few of the more topics. We'll be covering we'll start with grid, which is there. We'll do a responsive web design. We'll do a layout using the grid, and what we'll do is we'll learn about few of the pseudo class and all stuff. We'll learn about styling of the what you can say is stable and all, and few of the transition stuff. Okay, so we'll be covering in today's class. So are you guys ready? If you guys are ready, then just write ready in the chat. Yes, how many of you are ready right now? Yes, let me check how many of you are ready. Yeah, all right, so let me share the screen, just give me a minute. So yeah, so this is what we have covered yesterday about the Flexbox. How many of you have tried the layout, Flexbox layout that we have done yesterday? Yes, anyone who have tried the Flexbox layout? If you have tried, just write tried in the chat. Yes, I can see many of you are ready. Okay, very good, very good. Yeah, how many of you have tried? Okay, I can see one. All right, very good. All right, cool. So let's get started then. Uh, So we'll start with the grid layout. So for now, what I'll do is I'll just close everything, close all. Day three, let's create a grid.html. So what do you mean by grid? What is a grid? Can anyone tell me what is a grid? How many of you can tell me? Let's see how many of you can tell me right now in the chat. Anything that comes up to your mind. Yes. So while you tell me the definition, what I can do is let me complete the basic boilerplate. So till then, I am waiting for your answers. Let's see how many of you can get it right. Okay. All right. I can see only one answer. What about others? Yeah. Sorry for. Yeah. Let's see how many of you can get it right. All right. So I cannot see the comments. Just give me a minute. Yeah. There. Sorry, the live chat is not working at me. Let me check here. All right. So here you can say grid layout is a layout which is based on the collection of columns and rows. Okay. So it makes designing of some of the layouts very much easier, which now right now we'll be seeing with example, which we'll be building right now. So let's get started. Let's build our first layout, grid layout. So I'll just load the boilerplate. So how many of you are ready? Are you guys ready along with me? Yes, ready. All right. So let me rename as grid layout. Okay. So here, what we can do is the layout. Will make a layout with 6 elements, 6 boxes. Okay, with inside a column inside the grid layout. What you can say is grid items. You can say it as. So here, I'll do a main. Inside the main, I will create a division and let's give it a class name as box. And here also, let's give it a class name as container. All right. So here in this particular div, I will add uh, each. So let's name it as box one. So similarly, what I want is I want 6 boxes. So press Alt and Shift and down arrow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So you can see how easily we can do this. 5 and 6. Okay. So this is the shortcut which I was telling you about. Okay. So Shift, Alt and down arrow. All right. So we have a grid layout with 6 boxes. So now the grid layout is not applied. For that, we need to first thing, let me create a link, and here the location of the file. Now both of them are linked. All right. So here what we can do is, let's do the default styling of this. Okay. With the margin, let's set it to 0. The padding, let's set it to 0. And box sizing, I hope you guys remember how the element width and height is calculated is dependent on this box sizing. Will be border box. All right, let's save it. This is done. So then we'll do the styling for the body. For the body, we you can apply any font, and we'll set a minimum width for the body to around 100% of the viewport height. Okay, minimum, that is the full width. 100% of the viewport height, that is the full width. Okay, then what elements we have? Then we have the box and the container. All right, so let's move to the container, and in the container we'll set the display type to grid. Okay, and to the child, that is box, what we can do is we can set a background color to give a distinct look. So background color, and we can set it to any color. For now I'm setting it to lime green. You can just drop me any color which you want to place it. I will just apply it right there. Okay, so here what you can do is text color, then we can set it to black. Background color and text color, just let me know which one you want to apply. Then the font size will add 2 rem and a padding space of around 2.5. Will be very much bigger. Let's keep it 0.5 rem. Okay, save it. So this is done. To give you a demonstration, what I can do is, let's open it in a live server. Let's keep it white for now. All right, just give me a moment. Let me open the browser for now. I don't know why it is not working. Yeah, the browser is now ready. So what you can do is, let me share the yeah. All right. So all right. So this is done for now. Just give me a moment. Why the system is not working? Sorry. It's minimum height. I made a mistake right here. Yeah, thank you for this. Thank you, Aditya. And there is one more typo right here. Thank you. Thank you for being there. Yeah. So these are the few things. As said before, there will be some deliberate mistake which will be done. So keep in mind, you need to check the class name, selector, and so as Aditya mentioned, So what was the mistake right here, which you need to keep in mind? VH for the height, viewport height, and minimum width is for the width, that is the distance that is from the x-axis that traverse around the x-axis. So that is the width. What I deliberately wrote was minimum width, and I was mentioning the VH, that is the viewport height. So this is wrong in certain ways. So that this is why these things you need to keep in mind: the units which you are using, and the properties which the values and the property pairing need to be done carefully. Okay. So thank you, Aditya. Yeah, the tag name was wrong. So check it. If you find any mistakes, just keep in mind you need to be very active in the class, which I said very in the first class. So there will be some deliberate like mistake in the class name, in the content, maybe in the property or the value. Just keep that in mind, which we have already covered. All right. So I don't know why the browser is not opening. Just give me a minute. Let me share the browser. Why is it not working? Yeah, yeah, the browser is opening now. All right. So here you can see this is how by default it looks like. So what we have right now, we have a grid layout, okay, which by default everything is arranged in a single, like each element are present in a single row. All right. If we go to layout and the main container, you can see right here, this is row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 rows right here and a single column. What's a So this now will try it around, will dynamically place element in multiple rows, columns. This is what we will be doing it right now. So go to see this, what you can do is click here in the main container. You can see the marking. This is row 1. These guidelines will be helpful for us while we want to start a certain element in a specific part of the body. All right, so this line will be helpful when you click on this grid overlay at the bottom of the console. So go to open your inspect element, go to layout, and here you'll find all of these things. All right, so this will be helpful for you in the development process. All right, did you got it? Yes, no, got it in the chat, everyone? All right. So till then, what we can do is let me. Now I am in the VS Code. Okay, I have shared the VS Code screen. So what I can do is right now let's modify the code a bit. So what we can do is in this container the display type is grid. So what? Let's introduce one more thing, that is grid auto hyphen flow. So how the flow of element will be there inside the grid, and this you can set it to row. Okay, or what you can do is column. So these are the two value which is there for the grid auto flow. So how this differs? So grid auto flow, basically how it works is, suppose you if you are writing grid auto flow column, so all elements, what the grid items, what you can say is, will be arranged in a column, in a single column. And if you write it as row, sorry, in a single row, and if you write it as row, all the flow, like all the elements will be assigned to each columns, you can say, similar, something similar to this. And if you write the flow as auto flow as row, which is the default one, which you can see all elements are arranged in a single row. So this was the default one. To give you a demonstration, what I can do is, let me apply column and let me share the screen. You can see if I set it to auto flow column, so what happens? What are the changes you can see? Okay, you can see now all the elements. Control Shift I, and let's go to style, and here you can see the grid auto flow right here. Okay, It's now column. If I change it to row, this is how the flow of the element changes. Okay, so there are multiple things which we can work on. Okay, so let's have a look. So we'll try few of the more things. So how what happens is how you want to place all the element. Okay, what will be did you get it, this particular part? Are you able to understand this particular part? Yes, no? Hmm. Yeah. All right. uh, all right, so what you can do right now is, let me move to the code. All right, and let's show you few of the stuffs what you can do with this. All right, so what we can do is, the next thing is, uh, let me move to the code. Yeah, so here in this container, let's do few of the stuff. So the container, you're controlling the container, how the elements will be placed. So now what we'll be doing is, we'll be setting up a template. So grid uh, template column. Okay, so what it does, I will tell you. Grid template column, and then here I will write 200 pixel. Okay, this I am using the absolute units: 200 pixel, 100 pixel, 200 pixel, and then this much. Okay, so what it will do right now is, so I'm using absolute unit. So by doing that, uh, what let me keep it side by side for now. All right, and just give me a minute so that you can see what is going on right here. No, why the desk is not. Okay, this browser is, yeah. All right, so this is what it looks like. Okay, so here what happens is, we have created a template of columns. Okay, where the first column, okay, here this is the box one, it becomes 200 pixel. The second column becomes 100 pixel, and the third column becomes 200 pixels. So here what we are doing is, we are hard coding those pixel values. Okay, so one of the best alternative what we can do is, instead of doing this, instead of writing this way, what alternatively we can do is, we we can divide it, the whole space, into fractions. Like, the whole space we will be dividing, like the first column will carry two fractions unit, the second column will be carry one fraction unit, and the third column will be carry two fraction unit, and save it. And here you can see, along with the grid lines, the width of this and the width of this column is same, while this one is the half. Okay, the width of this column and this column is same, and this one is the half. Similarly, you can play around. Let's say you want to keep everything in the same, 2fr 2fr 2fr, everything that do not make sense. It's similar to, if you, it's both similar, like if you keep 2fr 2fr 2fr, or 1fr 1fr 1fr, they both are same. You are dividing the space equally. Okay, or if you want to keep the middle one bigger, you can keep this way: 1fr 1fr 2fr 2fr, right? So there is more efficient utility of this. You can use it is, instead of using FRs, fractions, what exactly you can do is, you can write a sort and of it, that is repeat. Okay, and in repeat, what you can do is 4 comma 1 FR, save it. So here what happens is, instead of writing for one FR, one FR, one FR, one FR 4 times. Okay, what I did is I write repeat 4 times one FR. So this one becomes one FR, one FR, one FR, one FR. So this way, how the elements are divided in my viewport. Okay, this is how the elements are defined. Let's say you want to try a more better way. Like I don't want to keep all of my, what you can say is elements same. I want to use this repeat, but I want to keep it more dynamic for multiple rows and columns. So here there is one more way which you can do, is there's one way of using this is 2 1FR. Okay, comma 2 comma 1, sorry, 2 1FR space 2FR. Save it. Okay, what does this mean? Can anyone tell me what does this mean? Repeat 2 1FR comma space 2FR. So this means that we have a 4 column layout. Okay, we are creating a 4 column layout in which the first one is 1FR. Okay, the second one is 2FR, and this 1FR 2FR sequence is repeated for 2 times. So this one is 1FR, this box 2 is 2FR, again this one is 1FR, and this one is 2FR. Okay, so 1FR 2FR sequence is repeated for 2 times. Okay, similarly you can follow this and make it more dynamic. Okay, are you clear till this part? Yes, any questions, anything in mind, you can just ask me right now. Yes, anyone is having any questions? Yes, no, no, yes. All right. So now we'll have more control over it. We'll learn about how to play around with the heights. Okay, we'll learn about how to play around with the heights. So let me tell you. Hello, Manish. Any doubts? You can just write D space which topic you are having doubt or you have any queries, right? So yeah, for the dart and floater also there is sessions you'll get to know. And if you are enjoying the session, don't forget to like the videos. Okay, all right, so let's move to this next thing. Let's learn about how to control the heights. Okay, let's learn about how to control the height. So let me share the screen, and yeah, all right, so here what we can do is let's play around with this. So grid template column, and now let's play around with the heights. So grid auto hyphen row, and let's set it to around 200 pixel. And sorry, there is a typo mistake. And for now what I can do is, okay, I just and one more thing what we can do right here. Sorry, this is need to be applied. Sorry, I made a mistake. This need to be applied. No, this was right. Need to be applied right here, but I think one more thing is there. We'll learn about it. Yeah, now it is there. Sorry, it was not working previously. Let me comment all of this for now. Save it. Okay, the height is not working, I think. I made a mistake. Just give me a minute. Let me also check it for now. It's grid auto row, but yeah. So basically, this is used for like justifying the height of the element. Okay. Mm, so this is the grid auto row property. Sorry, it is grid auto rows, I guess. Save it. Yeah. Sorry, I made a typo mistake. So it was grid auto rows. Okay. So this way you can set the height of a particular row. All right. So then this also, instead of hard coding, let's say you want to make it more dynamic by setting, like I want to have it a minimum width, like minimum height of the row should be 200 pixel or 150 pixel, and it can expand depending of the content and all. So for that also, what you can do is, there is one single changes you need to do it right here. So min, okay, min max. So minimum, maximum, minimum, let's say you want it to be 150 pixel, and maximum you're setting it to auto. So you can see now depending on the what you can say is minimum height is now 150 pixel, and according to the content it becomes more dynamic. So this is how the height of the row you are adjusting. Okay. So then what you can do is, for this what you can do is, again, one more changes I'm applying it. Minimum, let's say I'm setting a minimum height to be something around 400 pixel. Okay, save it. This is what you can say is overwritten. Even if I say 250, save it, you can see, even if you are there 250, it is not giving 400, it is giving 150, and accordingly it is varying. If I change it to 400, save it, it will change to 400. Okay, so this is how you can, if even if the container min height is set, you can also change it right here later also. So this is what we are saying, the minimum height is this, and maximum height you can set it to, let's say you want it to be 600, set it. Okay, but what if we, even if you keep it low, it works. Okay, this is what I was trying to say. Okay, again, don't get confused with it. So again, if you want to have a space between each of the elements, okay, how to do that? So let's see how to do that. So if you have to keep space between element, so row, then gap, and you can set it to somewhere around 1 em, 2 em, as per your requirements. And you can see a gap between the row, you can see the space right here. This is the gap between the row is now created. Okay, similarly, if you want to create a gap between the column, so column gap and 1 point or 0.5 em, you can see now the gap between individual columns have been created. Okay, and there is also a shorthand for this. So gap 1 em, 0.5 em. Okay, this is a shorthand. Instead of writing this two, okay, you can write a shorthand which will apply the both of this style. Okay, that is the row gap first and the column gap. All right, so this is all about the grid layout, mostly. Okay, so are you able to understand this? Yes. Anything you don't? So what I will do is, now we'll build a layout. Okay, we'll build a web page, using this grid. Okay, so Control B, and here what we can do right now is we'll use this to build the layout. Okay, we'll all use this scenario, but before building the layout, what I want is, do you have any questions till now? Any questions till now? Yes, no? Any question you have in mind? I can see 28. There's so many people around 28 and all. Yeah, in the live. So yes, can anyone tell me like what doubts you have? Anything? Any queries you have in mind? Yes. Yes. No. Nothing. No queries. All right. No issues. So let's move to the next part. We'll be building a layout. I will quickly move into it, guys. I want you to be super active in the chat. Okay. In case you have doubt, any questions, you can ask me. Okay. So let's move to the next part. Okay. uh, Let me share the screen again, just give me a minute. All right, so let's work on this layout. So here what we'll do is I will implement some of the pseudo classes. Okay, so you will use the pseudo classes right here. So we'll go to the CSS, go to the box, and here what we want to do is we'll select the box and we'll select the first child. Who is the first child? Is this box one. And here I want to apply few styles: background, color. Guys, do keep in mind the typos, any mistake in there will be some few deliberate mistakes to figure it out. So dark green, I guess it's there. Yeah, now you can see the first box color is now changed to dark green. Okay, this is how the pseudo classes comes to play. So grade hyphen column hyphen start, keep this in mind. Okay, this is something new which I'm telling you is one. It will not change anything. Okay, because it is starting, this is the starting point of that element. The first child will start right here. Then grid hyphen column, then end. So it will start from the line 1. Okay, and it will end at line 4. Save it. Okay, you can see right here, you can see the numbering 1, 2, 3 and 4. So it is starting at the line 1 and it goes till line number 4. So this is the starting point of the grid and this is the ending point of the grid, and rest of the element were adjusted subsequently in the grid as per the specified template, like 2fr, 1fr and all. So this is what we are overriding, like this width of the first box should be this, starting from this and ending with this. Okay, similarly we, this is for the column, like column line 1 to column line 4. Same thing you can do with the rows also. So what, for how to, for the rows, so grid row, sorry, row start, and this will be 1, then grid hyphen row hyphen end, you can set it to 3. Now you can see this is line 1, this is line 2 and this is line 3. Okay, so it is covering, the width is getting covered accordingly, you can see. And this is the box 2 and box 3 and rest of the box are arranged accordingly. Clear? If it is clear, CLR in the chat, guys. We first, I want to see CLR in the chat if it is done. Clear? So this is the starting line where it starts. We are specifying the column 1, 2, 3, 4, and similarly for the rows start right here. But instead of writing this in a bigger way, there is a shorthand, okay, which you can write for the column and for the rows. So let me tell you that also. The shorthand looks something like, for the column part. Okay, now you can see, now it is removed, only the row 1 is applied. To apply the column 1 with the shorthand, just write grid and do not write column start end, just write grid column. Okay, sorry for the typo, and write 1/4 7. Yeah, so now you can see it starts from 1 and ends with 4. Similarly, that goes with the row. So grid hyphen row will start at 1 and will end at 3. All right, clear? CLR in the chat if it is clear. Yes, very good. All right, so now let's move to the next part. Okay, nesting one grid. Can we nest one grid inside other? Yes, we can. So let's do that. Let's follow the nesting thing. Okay, so how to nest one grid inside the other and align the rest of the things accordingly. That also we can see in a grid space. So for that, what we can do is we need to add a few of these things. Okay, I want to add one more thing, that is I want to set its display type. This is a child. Okay, the parents, you can say the parent container display type is already set to grid, but here inside this grid element I want to create another grid element, and here grid, and this is for the aligning. So I am using this display child grid to align the box one where I want right now. There is multiple ways. So here, then what I can do is one more thing I can do, align hyphen content. Let me set it to center. You can see how it is a left hand side. Okay, so then justify. So this is along the horizontal center item. Justify item to center. So now the box one comes to the middle. So along this axis, it will work. Justify content will work along the horizon, and this will work along the vertices, the align content. So this is how we are aligning the stuff. So now we can see box one is at the very center. All right, even instead of writing both of this, okay, align content and all, what you can do is you can just write place. Okay, to make it easier, place content to center. This becomes the same thing, more or less. This becomes the shorthand for this, what you can also say. Okay, similarly here also you can play around. You can write end space center, and you can see the placement is at the end but center. Okay, so this is how you can manipulate the code and play around with it. All right, so save it. So is this part clear? Yes, no, till this part. All right, so let's build a layout quickly. Okay, so I hope you guys have completed the flex layout part. So let's build a layout right here. So control B. Let's do one more thing, is grid layout dot css, grid layout dot html. I load the boilerplate right now. Okay, grid layout, and inside it I'll create the structure, basic structuring, the skeletal structure of it. So here what I can do is inside the body I will add a header, and inside the header I will let's give it a class name for now, as what I can do is header element, or ELE, what you can write in sort. Okay, inside this header we'll add a h1 tag and name it as header. Okay, so header is done. Then we'll come to the main body. Inside this main body what I'll do is I'll place all of this right now, all the 6 boxes for now, and then I'll create a footer. Even the main, what I can do is let's give it a class name also. Main, what we can do is let's skip it like that for now. Then we'll have a sidebar. So for the sidebar, we can name it a side, give it a name as class name as sidebar and el. Sorry, and also let's add el to this. And in the sidebar, let's name it as h2 sidebar. And similarly, after the sidebar, what we can do is we can add a footer, give it a class name as footer, also ele element, and inside it also I'll do a h2 tag, sorry, h2, and name it as footer. Save it. So this is the basic layout what we have done. Let's do the linking, and here style, grid layout, css is done. Let me close this. Yeah, so here let's select the body. Let's important display type. Let's set it to grid. Here there is a typo, guys. Keep in, yeah. And here again, I want to set the let me open it. Let me open it here for now. Okay, so this is the basic skeletal what we are working on right now. Okay, we have a header, we have a main content with these boxes, and we have a sidebar. So grade template columns. So this one will be repeat 4 times with one fr. Okay, and here what we can do is grade rows, read auto rows will be something, we'll set around 50 pixel, then auto, then 50 pixel. Okay, so now, so this is the structure what we, sorry, this is the structure what it looks like. Okay, we have a header, we have a body. Okay, we have a header, we have a body, and this is what it looks like. Is it working? Is it well and good? Are you able to understand till this part? Yeah. All right. So let's move to the next part. So there is, guys, keep just keep in mind there is a mistake right here. You need to frame it out. Okay. So there is a one more thing I need to work here is grid template. Uh, okay. And here areas. Single lows 4 is done. Body. Uh, and here what we can do is this for now, keep in mind. Well, I'll come to this particular part. We are naming everything differently. So header will name as HD. So I want header to take what I can say is 9 spaces, nine blocks. in 9 blocks of the column. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You will not see any kind of tangible changes right here. Okay, you will not see any kind of tangible changes right here because we haven't named the header as HD right here. So here what you will see is you will not find any kind of tangible changes in this particular part if I write here as HD. So to see the tangible element, we need to name it accordingly. All right. So this will be done. But before that, what we can do right here is, okay. So again, HD part is done. And then what we can do is same for the main element. For the main element, I will keep mn. So we have 9 spaces, right? So we have 9 spaces. Mn, main element, main, and last two. Okay, so last two I will reserve for the sidebar, the last two blocks SD. So this is how we are dividing the spaces. Okay, so if you are unable to understand this particular part, you can just let me know, like this is the part you are unable to understand on all the stuff. Okay, so one more thing what we need to do right here is, mm, yeah, one more thing I need to check it right here. Just give me a minute. Mm, yeah, I need to work on the placement also. This need to be done. Okay, let me complete with the footer part also. FT, uh, FT. The footer will take the rest spaces, the whole bottom line. Okay, there that will not reserve anything for anyone. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, the footer space is now set. Mm, all right, so alignment is done, header is done, and footer is done. And one more thing we can do right here is save it. Yeah. So now the body part is done. Now work on the element, all individual element. So all individual elements that we have, we can set a background color. Just give me a minute. Let me complete it. I will come to all your questions. Is purple. Okay. And for now, save it. Yes, it's working. And few of the classes I need from the previous one also. Mm, just give me a minute. Here we also need few of the classes. I'll copy some from here, like the box. Okay, let the box be this. And what we're gonna do is, and let me copy the first child also. Okay, And one more thing is not imported, that is the major one, that is the container part. Okay, so this is also important. All right, so now everything is going all right. The sidebar background color also I need to set. Okay, we'll do that. Mm, and let's do one more thing is here the container is the main. So main class container. All right. So this is making the things sorted a bit. Okay, this is making the things sorted. Okay, and one more thing we need to do right here. Okay, so slowly you will see the changes. We have the header, but what we need is we want our header to uh, cover the whole space, right? So body display type is grid is fine. Okay, but here what I'll do is in the body part, let me do certain kind of changes. Mm, this let's make it to, instead of 4 let's make it 9 fractions, okay, of 1 fr. And yeah, this one is fine. So this one will make it to 9 fractions instead of 4. Let's make it to 9 fractions. And the row is fine, 50 pixel 50 pixels, auto and 50 pixel. The row things is fine. So now one by one we'll fix the design. Okay, and grid template areas is also fixed. So once this is fixed, okay, so once this is fixed, what, let me bring this also down so that everything looks sorted. All right, so once this is done, let's move to the next part. Okay, that is the container. We'll work with the container and also we'll work on the naming of each and every individual stuff. Okay, so to do that, what we can do is the element part also I need to work on. All the elements I will set the background color is set to purple. And then what is the next thing what we can do is let's add the color. Let's set it to FFF white. And here don't forget to add the semicolon. Display type, will set it to grid. Okay, and place content for center alignment. Okay, place content, will set it to center. All right, so I hope this works. Then individually we'll try to rename. So for the header, what we have done, we have added the area name to be HD. So what I will do right here after this is dot header. Okay, and to this header, what I will do is I will apply a grid area and I will set it to HD. Okay, similarly we'll do for the rest, like for the dot, for the main, also we'll do for the sidebar, dot sidebar. Okay, we'll set the grid area to be SD, sorry, SB. Okay, you can see how it is getting sorted right now. Okay, sidebar is now coming to the right hand side. Okay, then we'll work on, once we work on the footer and all, it will slowly make senses. Okay, sidebar now is at the side. Then we need to work on the footer. So dot footer is not in the right position. So footer, then grid area. uh, let's give it a background color to this. So that background color, let's set it to gray for now. Okay, we'll fix this design issues and all. And footer is grid area FT. Okay, grid area now is set to FT. You can see, okay, this I will be working on. And one more thing I need to check here, FT. Yeah, footer area is FT. Yeah, all right. Again, to fix this design, I need to work on the container. Container display type is there. Let me remove the unnecessary stuff so that it won't create any confusion. Two will one FR, two FR stuff. This one is not required. The min max is fine. The gap should be this. Okay, just to avoid any design anomalies, any confusion. Let's keep our things clean. And here in the container, what we can do is, okay, one more thing is grid area. We need to set as MN, which we haven't set. Now, somewhat it is making senses. Okay, but the sidebar thing is, except the sidebar, the things are making senses right now. Okay, we will fix the sidebar. No worries. Sidebar is coming to the down. Okay, we'll fix that. Okay, because it is not named properly, it should be SP. I have written SD. Now you can see the layout. Okay, now you can see the layout clearly. Here we have built a certain layout where we have the header, we have the box, we have the box 2, 3, sidebar, and this is all the elements. So this is how you can create a page. You can create a layout using this grid layout. Okay, is it clear? Are you able to understand it, how the things works and all? So that's it for the grid layout. Any questions you have in mind, you can ask me right here, or else we'll move to the next topic. Any questions right here? Yes, anyone is having any questions? Yes, there is an assignment which you have. If you haven't completed, complete the it in the next class. Okay. And anyone, just give me a minute. I need to fix with the charger. Just give me a minute. Just 1 minute. Yeah. Is it audible? Am I audible right now? Yes. No. All right. So let's start with the next topic. Uh, all right. So grid layout. Any questions? Anything you have in mind? So next we'll move to pseudo selectors, which we have already applied. The first child, second child, and all the stuff. Okay. Let's move. Let me share the screen, and so that we can learn about the pseudo selectors and all stuff. Okay. We have applied few of the pseudo selectors in this particular session. That is the let me share the screen. Yeah, some is like first child and all. So there are a lot of different kind of pseudo selectors. Can anyone name few of the pseudo selectors? Yes, anyone? Can anyone name me few of the pseudo selectors if you know any? Anyone? There is no issues of right or wrong. You can just give your answers. Yes, anyone? Right here. Pseudo class. You might have heard about. How many of you have heard about pseudo class and pseudo elements? Okay, very good. All right. So basically, pseudo selectors is a combination of pseudo class and the pseudo element. Okay, pseudo selector is a combination of pseudo class and pseudo element. All right. So here, first thing what we'll be covering is the pseudo classes. So basically, yeah, pseudo classes are used to define a particular state of an element. At which state the element is certain, how to style. For example, we used basically it is used to how to style element when the mouse is over it, how to style element when you click on it, how to style element when you do something. So basically this is how the pseudo element is used. So let me create a .html. Okay, so I'm just giving you a brief uh, pseudo selector, and inside it we have that is two things. One is pseudo, sorry, pseudo class, and the next one is pseudo, pseudo element. All right. So don't get confused between these two things. Okay. So in this pseudo class, what we'll be doing is I'll tell you how it is written. All right. So pseudo class is something like selector, selector, then the name of the pseudo class, then the curly braces, then we write the property and the value associated with it. All right, so this is how we basically write it. Okay, so again, let's take an example of implementing this. For now, what I can do is let's create a document. We have a heading, and here what we can do is let's create a few links. So here a tag href for now. Let's skip it to hash target underscore lnk. Okay, and let's name it as this is a link for now. Okay, similarly, what I can do is, yeah, let be this. Now let's apply the styling. For the styling, I'm not creating right now any external style set for now. So what I'll do is anchor tag here the link. Okay, pseudo pseudo class we are using, and here color is red. So once you see the example, things will be clearer. Okay, and then here we can see is pseudo class anchor when it is hover. So I'll also tell you the shorthand also of it. How to fix this is when it is hovered, then color change it to uh, blue. Okay, and again anchor tag a when it is visited, when someone has already visited this, then what should be its color. So its color, let's give it to something as hash 000. All right, so this is what you can do. Let's say you want to give the same color for the link and if you have visited. Okay, so instead of like this, how you can write it is comma. Okay, this is how you can write for the link, and for the visited you want to give a certain color, that is this. Okay, so there is also a alt, and again what we can do is, again I'm telling you a different approach of it. when you hover a link, okay, and when you focus a link, when is a link is on focus, what I want the color to be blue. Okay, I want the color to be blue. So this is how it should look like. So this is one way in which you can write. Okay, and there is one more way, uh, this alternative way which you can write. Let's say, uh, yeah. So this is how it is basically written, the pseudo classes. So let's check it if it is working or not. Let's have a quick look if the links are working or not. Let me share this screen. Okay, one more thing what we can do is, let's add a, on focus, let's give it a background color. Background color, let's set it to yellow. Save it. Stop sharing. Let me share the screen. Just give me a minute. All right. And let me share the browser. So this is how it looks like. When I hover, you can see the link color is now changed to blue. So this is how different pseudo class are used. And on, you can see on visited also it will change. I have not set it. So here on click it is opening and it is getting changed. So this is how you can apply and use different kind of pseudo classes in it. Just give me a moment. So here I have a question for you. Let's see how many of you can answer. Okay. So one is hover. Okay. So here is a question for you, which we have uh, already, or what you can say is applied, or we have already covered in this particular class. Also, what you can do right now is, this is a question for you. Uh, what is the pseudo class to select the first child? Okay, and what is the pseudo class we need to write for selecting a nth child? We have used both of this. Okay, let's see how many of you can answer. Your time starts now. Let's see how many of you can answer. Pseudo class for selecting the first child and pseudo class for selecting the nth child. I want the whole complete syntax. Let's see. Right. Let's see how many of you. Okay, I cannot see any answers. Guys, be active in the chat. I need your answers right now. Yes. So, are you able to understand the question, or still you have the doubt in understanding the question? What will be the pseudo class for selecting the first child, and what will be the pseudo class for selecting the nth child? Is the question clear, or still you have the doubt? Okay, let me show you the answer. Okay. Yes, very good, Aditya. All right. So, good. Child number. All right. So, let's move to the next thing. Okay. So, let's move to the VS Code. So, yeah. So, this is how you can implement all of this pseudo class. There are n number of pseudo class. Just go through it. So, I'm just giving you a hint of certain examples So there are more pseudo classes which you might have heard, or this is active. Okay, once the link is active, so there is a pseudo class name as active. Okay, so similarly, when something is checked, okay, if the link is disabled, so there is a pseudo class name as disabled. Okay, disabled. Okay, similarly, the first child, first append child, selecting, if you want to select any kind of element that is the first uh, like element, or you can see you want to select the first element that is a paragraph, or first element that is a div. So what, how you can write it, p, if you want to select paragraph, then first, then when it is first of type, I guess. All right, so this is what you can type. And if you want to select any, so this is these are all, if you want to select the last child in this order, you can just write last hyphen child. So these are all the different kind of css class, which, or if certain field is required, you can write is required. Also there are different kind of pseudo elements. Okay, the pseudo elements, if you want to insert a content in floats and all stuff, if you want to insert a element after, if you want to insert a content after every paragraph, or if you want to, let's say I want to insert a content after every div that is generated, so there in that particular place, what you can do is you can use the pseudo elements. You want to insert a content element after every paragraph or after div, so here this is how you need to write after, if you want to insert a content before a certain kind of element, so write the name of the element then after. If you want to after every paragraph, you can just write like this. Or if you want to insert a content before any kind of paragraph, just write before paragraph. Okay, these are different kind of pseudo elements. Okay, or if you want to select the first line of every paragraph, okay, so if you want to select the first line of every paragraph, so first line. Okay, so this is how we can use pseudo element. If you want to mark, uh, you want to do, so this is how pseudo, so because in short what you can say is pseudo elements is used to specify a specific part of element. Okay, if you want to specify a specific part of the element, this is where the pseudo elements plays in place, like style the first letter, style the first line of the paragraph, which I said the first line paragraph, first line you want to do the styling. So this is how you can do it. It is also used for the insertion of the content, like before and after a certain kind of element. So this is where the pseudo element comes to play. Okay, used to style a specific part of the element, or you want to add certain insert or remove certain kind of element. Basically that is where the pseudo class and pseudo elements used. Okay, is it clear, everyone? Yes, no in the chat. Are you clear about the pseudo class and pseudo element? Yes, no, let me know. We'll move to the next topic. That is a very important topic right here. That is the media queries. Okay, we'll move to the next topic. That is the media queries. Are you clear about all of this stuff? Yes, no, till this particular content. Are you clear? Yes, no in the chat, guys. I need you guys. I need you guys to be super active in the chat, because now we will learn something very important. That is the media query part. So let me disable this, and let's big it here. That is the media query css dot html. Let's create a boilerplate, and inside the style, let's create a media query dot css. Okay, so this is what we are doing right here. So we'll learn about media queries right here. So media query is done. One more thing what we can do right here is, hmm, yeah, mm, yeah. So media queries are basically when if you want to know about its initializations, this is basically introduced from the version or the level, what you can say as you say is 2, CSS 2 and all. From that, this media query has been introduced. All right. So here in this media queries, what it is basically is used is it is used to check many things. It is used to check the width of the viewport, height of the viewport with respect to certain kind of breakpoints or certain kind of screen size, how the screen will, how the content will react according to different scenarios. Will be learning, okay, how to make our content responsive also will fix it out in this particular part. Okay, so here while we are learning of loading the boilerplate, here we are coming up this particular like meta tags. This is which is essential right here is this meta tag is used for the viewport, and here what we are saying is the width that we are associating should be the device width, and the scaling, that is the initial scaling of it, we're setting it to 0.1.0. Okay, this tag is very important. Okay, we'll go in details. And along with that, how the media queries are written, the syntax part. Okay, if you ask me about the syntax part, how it is written at media, okay, then we need to write the media type. What is the type of media you want to use? Then, and if this is the optional part, any kind of condition is there along with the breakpoint, for which breakpoint you are applying, for which sides of the screen you are applying a certain breakpoints that you need to set. All right, then inside it what happens is CSS rules goes in. All right, so this is how the media tag, or what you can say media queries looks like. All right, are you clear? Yes, no in the chat. Any questions, doubt? mm, okay. Yes, nth type. Okay, you had any queries of type of, or yeah, this type of is like to just yeah. Thank you, Aditya, for answering. All right. So yes, any queries till now? Any questions? Any doubt till now? So we'll proceed. So there are different kind of screen types. Okay. Here media types you can set it to all, which is used for all different kind of devices. Okay. And media types, okay, you can use if you want for a print media, you can use screen. If you want screen it for a screen media. Okay, so there are also different kind of common media features, like what you can say is that can be here the condition part. Okay, the condition part can be something like orientation, which can be both landscape and portrait. Which one you use? Okay, sorry for the typo. Landscape, portrait, you can set a orientation. Here also what you can do is, along with this, you can also come up with the aspect ratios. Okay, you can come up with minimum aspect ratio, and this you can set like 16 is to 9, 7 is to 4. You can set the aspect ratio. Okay, right here. So this is how it works. Okay, and even you can set a minimum width, minimum height, maximum width, maximum height. So this, all of this you can set with these are the conditions and breakpoints. Also along with the condition breakpoint, you can also write all of this. So let's take a quick example which can make our work a little bit easier for understanding the media queries. Okay, For this, what we can do is, let's open the HTML. For now, what I can do is, in the body, let's remove this. For now, let's add a header. Okay, and in this header, uh, there is one more thing I need to do. Okay, just give me a minute. Yeah, in this header, we need to add the h1 tag, and for now, let's keep it header, just for your quick understanding. Then after the header, uh, what we can do is we can add, in the header goes the navigation bar. So navigation bar in the h2, let's keep it nav. Okay, and one more thing what we can do right here is, mm, just give me a minute. Yeah, the nav is there. So after the header, let's make it a main content. Inside the main, let's keep it a h2, give it a main, and then after the main, what we can do is we can create a footer, h2 footer. All right. So now we have created a basic layout for us. Now let's move to the media queries and write the basic media queries for us. Okay. So here I'll just do the initial hygiene thing. That is, I will set the margin to 0. I will set the padding to 0. I will set the sizing, box sizing, and keep it to border box. Okay. So we have done it many times. I hope you guys are aware of this body. And in the body, what I'll do is I'll set a minimum height and give it to 100% of the viewport height. Save it. Mm, we'll see, we'll open it, but what we can do is, one thing I need to check right now. Yeah, before doing, I need to work on few of the stuffs. Okay, so this is the initial hygiene that need to be done, is already done. So here, mm, one thing we need to work on is the design part. Mm, yeah, the audio isn't audible. Just give me a minute. Let me fix it with a earbud. So we'll be building a design, responsive design. Uh, just give me a minute. So this is there. Okay, breakpoints. It's set. Yeah, let's work on this media screen. We'll set the media type is screen, and here what we can is min width, and let's set it to something around 481 pixel. Okay, so there are different kind of breakpoints for different kind of devices. Okay, so what so this so there are some of the common ones which I can do is, And one of the extension what we can is markdown. So now we'll work on it. I'll give you a mark. I'll give you this in what you can say is the uh, breakpoints and all stuff in the after the class. So basically there are different kind of breakpoint for different kind of devices. So for the mobile devices, okay, let me write it here for now. For the mobile devices, it's less than 481 pixel the breakpoint, okay. And so till the minimum width 481, so the styles will be applied, okay. And then the range from 481 for the tablets, okay. Tablets, it becomes greater than 480 or 480, what you can say is, or you can give it a range as 481 pixel to it goes around something around 760. So there are different standards. So even different frameworks have different standards. For the desktop, it goes from 760 to it goes something around 1024, depending on which. If you want to target for the 4K, you can just use it. For the large screen, is for the large screen, okay. Large screen, it goes from 1025 pixel, and it somewhere goes around 1200 pixel. And even extra large screens are there, okay. Extra large screen, and here the breakpoints goes around 1201 pixel to something around, you can put a limit according to your wish, okay. So this is for the standard breakpoints. There are certain what you can say is frameworks like CSS framework which you might have heard is, that is Bootstrap and all stuff. So for the Bootstrap, okay, so there is also a breakpoint for them also. So for the Bootstrap, the breakpoints are something like this: XS for the smaller screen, that is less than 576 pixel. And then we have a small screen, SM, okay. Small screen whose goes around greater than equals to 576 pixel, okay. Then we have medium screen size, which goes around greater than equal to 768 pixels. Similarly, the tailwind and all, they have their own breakpoint. So then goes the large, that goes from the 992 pixel, okay. And then we have something called as extra large and 2XL. So similarly, they also extra large goes from 1200 pixel, and this goes from around 1400 pixels. Okay, so these are all the breakpoints. So similarly, the tailwind has also its breakpoint. Okay, so here this is this. What you can do is you can make a note of this. Okay, what you can do is one thing related by using the media query, you use EM unit, just divide the point value with 16. Yeah. So we'll come to this particular part, the part. So even the tailwind has the breakpoints associated with it. To give you an idea, let me tell you how this works in tailwind. So in the tailwind, it starts with same access. So these are the standards. So since Bootstrap and Tailwind, they are certain kind of frameworks. They have done a lot of research, and accordingly, they have come up with this point. So that's why I'm giving you like this goes around for the Tailwind. It goes around like this. For the small screen, it goes around greater than equal to 640. Okay. Then for the medium, it goes around 768. For the large, it goes around 1024. Then for the extra large, it goes around 1200. And then we have double XL, it goes around, not exactly, it goes around 1536 pixels. So this is how different breakpoints is there in different kind of frameworks. Okay, every framework has its own. You can see the differences here, right here. Everyone has their own, and this is the common breakpoint. Okay, I hope this part is clear. So what I can do is I will do one more thing is I will keep both of the stuff side by side, and we'll design the page and we'll see how it looks. Okay, so just give me a minute, let me share the entire screen. Okay, so basically for the mobile you work with the smallest screen first, so that's why we give the minimum width. Okay, the smallest, we follow a mobile, the screen is shared, yeah, we follow a mobile responsive approach, so that's why we give the min width and all stuff. Okay, so sorry. Okay, sorry. uh, yeah, let's do the styling, the body, background. Okay, so here what you can do is you can apply the background color. Let's skip this for now. If I save it, isn't it working? Just give me a minute. Oh yeah, I haven't linked it, so that's why it's not working. Style media query.css. Yeah, yeah. Let's give it to something around. Okay, if you want to add a image, okay, and gradient, so background image, and here what we want to do is we want to apply a linear gradient. Okay, so radiant, sorry, radial gradient. So radial gradient, for the linear gradient you can add the linear gradient. And here, so how the gradient follow, what will be the initial color and what will be the latter color, so that we can set. Let's say the initial color will be something around mm, smoke white, and it will turn around to something similar to this. Okay, okay, this browser doesn't support right here, so yeah. So for that you can apply different kind of stuff which I'll be telling you, or I have written it wrong. Background image radial gradient. Oh, sorry, it's wrong. Yeah, now you can see the radial gradient how it is applied. The initial center is, now you can see white, and later the color is being processed. Okay, so this you can see it side by side. Let's go set a display type flex. Okay, here we'll, in this example we'll cover most of the topic. Flex direction. Okay, flex direction, let's set it to, okay, here we haven't applied semicolon, column, and here let's do the styling for all this rest of the thing. What we have is the header, then we have the main, nav and grid. For them, what we can do right now is header comma nav comma main comma footer. So this example will cover most of the thing. Here we'll apply the display type to something around grid. Okay, and here to align everything to center, as we know, place content. Okay, and keep it to center, so it will align it in the vertically and horizontally. Okay, so center is done. All right, so you can see how slowly we are applying. So header and position we need to work on. HEADER. Footer we need to work on its position, and let's make it sticky. Okay, and background color, let's give it a background color as not white. Let's skip it to mm, something as something nearer to this. Let's skip it to, yeah, and the text color white. Okay, so now we need to stick it to at a certain specific position. The footer need to be fixed at a certain position, and the footer need to be fixed at a certain position. So how to do that? So header, guys, this is a examples which are doing, and we need to add an offset value. We need to set it at 0, and the footer position need to be at its position. So bottom, and let's set it. Sorry, this is footer, and let's set its bottom value to 0. Okay, main element, this is a flex container. Inside the body it is there. So flex hyphen grow, and set its value to 1. So what will happen is the remaining space, what we have set the height as viewport, full height of the viewport. So that's why the remaining space was there under the footer. We have the remaining unused space. So what happened when we applied flex grow 1, it will capture the remaining space what is there. It will grow and capture all this by applying flex grow 1. Okay, now we need to work on the navigation bar. Okay, let's apply a background color, background hyphen color. But here what we need to do is for the header I have applied a color, right? Let's apply something similar to this. Okay, mm, let's keep it to 500. Yeah, all right, so this is there, but we need to fix that positioning. You can see the navigation bar right here. We need to fix the width. So we have placed this grid. Nav is display type is grid to street. So here we need to work on the width. So grid hyphen template hyphen column. Here what we'll do is 100%. Okay, so So this one is columns, sorry. Okay, and we need, now you can see it is covering the entire, but alignment we need to work on. So text align, okay, center. So horizontally it is now fixed. So now we have a basic layout. Okay, so now we, what we have done is we have a basic layout of a particular page. Okay, now we need to work on the media queries, right? At media screen and min width, so 576 pixel. The design is valid up to 576 pixel, and here we'll override it body background hyphen color. Let's skip it to hash to, okay. And this, even the, what we'll do is we'll also need to change this part. So let's do this also for the body so that the things will be clearly visible. Okay, all right. So this is for the width 576 pixel. So here in this small screen, what we'll do is in this small screen size, what I want is I do not want to show my navigation bar for the smaller screen. For this till like till, so 570 pixel, I do not want to show the navigation bar. So for this interval, what I can do is I can set the display value to none. Save it. Now you can gone. Now you can see it's gone. And if I increase it, post that value, it will increase. If I zoom it a bit, you will see. Okay, you can see now it shows when it goes to 570 pixel. You can see it values. When it goes above 576 pixel, it goes, and now it, you can see it shows. Okay, on minimum width 570 pixel and above it vanishes. Okay, this is how you can see how it is changed. Okay, so this is what, go to dev tool. Okay, and here what you can do is you can see for different view size. Okay, so here in the responsiveness you can see there are standardized screen size, and accordingly it will show you for the tabs or for different font size. Accordingly you can test it out how it looks. Okay, so this is how you can have a more control over it. You can see for the bigger control center, you can see, just to give you an idea, like you can see here the width, just mark the width. I'm keeping it responsive. As we increase, okay, as we increase, you can see I'm keeping on increasing till it reaches the value. What is the minimum width? That is 576. Okay, increases, and it, once it reach the value, that is 576, you can see the once it attains 575 and 76, you can see how it is changing. So this is how the skin responds to different screen size. I've set the minimum width as 576. So after it has reached the minimum width of 576, it will respond and design will change accordingly. Okay, so this is how we can do. So I'll just create a copy of this. Control Alt Shift down arrow. Well, so here for next breakpoint, what we'll do is we need to change the rest of the stuff for the medium screen size. Okay, so min width, what? So medium screen is 768 pixel, and background color will do a certain kind of change right here. 9 8 and save it. All right. Similarly, even for the other breakpoints, you can create for the extra large screen. Okay, and you will see how the body reacts. Okay, this one is Alt Shift down arrow, and this is for the large screen. This one will be 992 pixel. Let's do a certain kind of change. Let me keep it for now. Save it. And for the excels, if you want to do, okay, for control. So this is for the large screen, Excel screen. Okay, so for the what we can do is, and then what we can do is for the mobile devices. Okay, sorry, just give me a minute. Okay, so here what we can do is, this is for the different screen size. Okay, let's say you want to work on the mobile screen. Okay, so here let me mobile version, and in orientation, portrait, landscape, you can choose it accordingly. You can design it accordingly. Just to give you a demonstration screen, the minimum width for the mobile, what you can do is, you can go for something around 425 pixel. Okay, something like this. And here along with this, I want to apply one more thing, and I want to set the add one more condition, that is minimum aspect ratio for the landscape orientation. Okay, we are going more specific, 7:4. So it is taller, more noticeable taller and wide right now. And background color here, let's change it to something around, okay. And for this, the body is there, and again h1 comma h2, we need to fix it. We need to fix the font size to something around 1.5 rem. Okay, okay. And again, in the for small mobile devices, we need to remove the nav. So display, set it to none. So you can see how concept I, you can see how the screen will respond to different screen size. Okay, so for different screen size, you will see it will change. Okay, for more than, this is more 600, how it is changing. For bigger screen size, you will see how the color will be changing. For more than 900, we have set it next by print at something around 900 something. So here you will see, okay, I need to see 992. You can see how the colors are working on. Let's give it to 5. Yeah, now you can see the change in color. 992, 991. Again, we reach 992. How the colors are changing. Okay. Similarly, iPad Pro, how it is working. And again, if we change the orientation, this is the landscape orientation for which we have designed, right? For the iPhone, we have set the aspect ratio for this is 7:4, how it is working. So you can see if we change the aspect ratio also, how it is getting affected for different screen size. Okay, so this is how you can make your page more responsive. Okay, similarly, your assignment is there to add a hamburger menu right in the header when you are in a mobile devices. Okay, and do not show the navigation bar. So this is the assignment you need to do. And for the other screen, okay, and for the other screen type, what you need to do is you need to remove the you need to keep the navigation bar. Okay, are you understanding it? So for the mobile devices, okay, for the mobile devices you need to remove the navigation bar and place the hamburger menu. Okay, and if you are not using the mobile devices, what you guys can do is you can keep the whole navigation bar. Can you do it? Yes, can anyone complete it? Yes. All right, so this is not the project, just I am giving you a demonstration. So how the things you can use it, okay? Can you do it? Can you complete it? So here, the next thing what I'll be telling you, I'll be giving you a brief info about the animation. Okay, I'll tell you about the animation. So we have covered the pseudo class, pseudo elements. We have learned about the stylings. We have covered the responsive designs. So what I'll do is even I have given you like Bootstrap is one of the frameworks in which you can use to build different kind of responsive website. Tailwind is one of the uh, modern CSS technique in which you can do responsive web design. So I'll just give you a brief demonstration of how both of these can be used and their website I will be sharing. Just let's start with the animation and then we'll cover the rest. Okay. So for the animation part, okay, we'll make an animated hamburger icon. Okay, so let's do that, and that you need to apply in this particular project. Okay, so just give me a minute. Just give me a minute. Yeah. So we'll build a hamburger menu right here. Uh, what is my yeah? Let me share the screen. So can I take like more 10 minutes or 15 minutes? Is it fine for you to show the animation part? How many of you are interested for the animation? How many of you are excited for the animation part? Yes. Let me see hands. How many of you are interested or excited for the animation? I have shared the screen. Yeah. Let me animation.html. Here, let's add animation.css. It will take around few times, so just be there. We'll surely complete it as soon as possible. Yes. Let me create a link. Style animation.css. Okay, so basic boilerplate is done. So here in the body, what I'll do is let's create a main element, and inside the main element, I'll create a division, give it a name as square. Okay, and here also we need three. So here, sorry. So here, what I can do is let's implement few of this emojis. What we can apply it. Uh, let's apply some of the food items. French fries. The second one, Just give me a minute. Food, French fries. Then we can go up with the rice bowl. Okay, let's add one more food item. Let's see what we have got. Yeah, let's add a. All right, so this is what we have done for this first example. So I'm going to use index.html and we'll be using this or the animation. Here, let's create an animation menu and we'll do a drop down animation also too. So let's do about the basic transform and transitions, how the transform happens, how the transitions happen. Let's understand the basic things. So let's do this. Let's do the basic hygiene. Let me copy this from okay. And for the HTML root, what I can do is let's set the font size 1.5 rem. Okay, body, let's work on the body, and for the body we can set a minimum height of around 100 of the viewport height. Then we can set a display type. Just guys be there for the next 10 minutes, we'll cover it. So display type is flex. So this is gonna be interesting because we are learning something new about the animation. Those who are new, how many of you have already learned about the animation or you have the idea of animation? Yes, anyone who have already covered animations or learned? Can you be there for more 10 minutes? Yeah. Yes, can you be there? Yes, I can see 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, thank you. All right, so let's cover it. Display type is flex. Flex flow should be around the column, and wrapping. This is a shorthand. Okay, flex wrap is no wrap. We do not want to do any kind of wrapping. Justify content, aligning the content. We'll need it to center along the horizontal axis, and align content or align items, sorry, along the vertical axis. We need to keep it as center. Okay, and then what we can do is let's create a gap between each and every element of one rem. Save it. Then what we have next is division. Okay, let's work on this division. So three divs we have. So the three divs, let's design for the div. For the div, what we can set is I can set the width as 200 pixel, height something as 200 pixel, border let's keep it to 1 pixel, solid let's give it a color something around. Okay, and then what we can do is let's set a display type. We are setting it to grid. Okay, and then aligning content, place content as center. Okay, this the all right. So what I can do is let me share the entire screen so that we can see everything working side by side. Just give me a moment. Yeah. All right. So all right. So two. So here what we have, the three dips. We have everything working right. Okay. So we need to select the first div. So div first child, and here what we can do is let's give it a background color. Mm, okay, we have a background color right here. Okay, the gap is not applied right here. The body. Okay, I will come to this. Okay, and similarly, what we want is second div. We are talking about the pseudo class, so this is like nth child. Okay, I want to select the second child. So second child, I want the background color something uh, nearer to this. Okay. Mm, and the last child. Okay. So last child, yeah, last three is okay. The first property we need to work in the transformation. How the transformation works? Transform. Okay, and here it will be moving along the x-axis in the left and right. So translate along the x-axis 50%. Okay, so you can see now it is moving 50%. It is moved to the, if you give the positive number, you move to the right. If you give the negative number, it will move to the left. Okay, so here if you want to move down to rem, so how? Same thing, instead of x you just write y. To move down, positive value. You can move, give it the values in frame also. Okay, so this is how it is moving down. Okay, and overlapping. And if you want to see minus 2 rem, you can see how it is working on. Okay, minus 2 rem. And again, if you want to translate and you want to move it along the x-axis, along the screen size, so here what we can do is 100%. Let's see how it works. See, you can see 100% of it width is translated to along the x-axis. Okay, it moves. And let's see if you want to do, if you want to implement it along both the x and the y axis. So this is a shorthand. X-axis 100% and y-axis you want to move to. This is how it works on. Okay, so this is how you can transform an element. All right, so this is how you can play around and you can move. So there are different kind of transformations. Like if you want to rotate an element, so transform, rotate. Okay, rotate along the x 180-degree. So you can see how it is. It is upside down the emojis. Let's 10-degree or 90-degree. or let's skip it to something around 45 will be fine. Now you can see along keeping the x-axis constant along the x-axis it is moving. So that's why if I apply 90-degree, you'll see it becoming the flat. So previously it was this. Just mark the hand, my hand. So now it is moving like this along the x-axis. So by 90-degree, it vanishes. This is why it vanishes along the 90-degree. And in 45-degree, it is something like this, half tilted. So that's why you can see it is like compressed one. It is looking something like this, compressed. Okay. Similarly, if you want to test it along the y-axis, this is y-axis things. See my hand. This is how it moves along the y-axis. Okay. Okay. So this is how it is moving along the y-axis. Or 30. Let's skip it. 5. So this is how it is rotating. If you apply 180, it is doing a complete rotation, and this is how it looks. And along the z-axis, if you want to rotate z, so let's see how it rotates along the z-axis. Okay, so now you can see this is how it rotates along the z-axis. See the palm, this is how it rotates along the z-axis. Okay, if you want to remove like move 45, you can see how it is rotating like this, 45-degree. Okay, you can see this. So next there are a lot of transformation. If you want to scale a element, okay, along the x-axis or along the y-axis, so how to do that scaling thing? So I need we'll go around some more minutes. So let's do this like scaling. This I'll show one rest you guys to practice yourself. So transform scale. Okay, scale can be done along the x y. Similarly, you guys give it a try. Okay, and here 20% scaling. You can see how it is scaling, it becoming 20% along the y, how it is affecting. And if you write scale, this is how it is scaling. And if you write 120, this is how it grows 120 times. Okay, one more thing is there, skew. Okay, so I just tell skew. On the skew, transform skew, and here we write in degrees. So you can see this is how it becoming skewed to minus 10 degree. It is like get tilted something around. Along the this you can do along the x, y, and z axis. Okay, the skew thing. So now let's do the animation part. Okay, so now let's move to the animation part. That is the main, that is a transition. Okay, so when what happens is when you hover over a div, then what will happen? So let's do this. So div hover. Okay, then I will change the background color first. So let's take something like this, and let me change it to 66. For now, when you hover over a div, its background color will change to this color. Okay, and then we apply a transition. Okay, transition property, and here the what transition you want to apply, I want to change the background color transition. Okay, I want to do the transition of the background color, and what duration it will take, for how many what duration. So transition duration for the change of the background color will take around 2 seconds. So slowly you can see the change in color. And then what you can do is transition delay. Okay, delay is like you want to start after hovering, it will take a delay of 0.5 second and it will start. Okay, so let's see, hover over this. Let's hover over this. You can see it is taking 2 seconds. How slowly it is after 0.5 second, slowly how it is changing the color. Let's change the color to something more. You can see. You can see how it is changing the color when I hover. Slowly it is changing the background color. So this is how the animation work. Okay. So okay. So let's do one more thing. Div, then it will apply to last child. Okay. On hover will apply a transformation. Okay. The transform which you have learned, rotate along the z axis, and this will be 180 degree. Okay. So for the transformation, I want to keep it for 3 seconds. So you can see how on hover it is becoming upside down. Okay, it is taking 3 seconds to do this. Okay, so this is about the transitions and also. So instead of any specific transition, you do not want to change the background property. And so here also one more thing is I haven't applied the transform. All right, so you can see in transform the background color it is 2 seconds and the transform it is taking 3 seconds. Okay, so there is a shorthand for this. Instead of writing all of this in this way, just write one more thing, that is the transition, and along the transition I want all type of or background transform, every transition which you apply for the 2 second and the next one for the 0.5 second. Okay, save it. Okay, and type is in, or what I can do is, let's tell you the transition timing function. Okay, by the default it is ease. So transition hyphen timing hyphen function. So there are different type of timing functions right here. By the default one is ease in, starts ease in is like start slow, then move at a normal speed. Okay, ease out is move at a normal speed, then end slowly. Okay, you can see. Now you can see more on the rotation. When I hover it, how it is rotating. Okay. And if you want to do everything at a linear pace, so linear, now you can see. Okay. So the same thing you can write it right here. Or is in, start slow, end slow. So you can see how it is start slow. Okay, you can see how the rotation starts slow and ends slow, and in the mid it is taking the position. So this is how you can apply different kind of transitions. Okay, so are you clear about the animation? Any doubt, any questions in the animation till now? Similarly, your task is to do apply animation for the hamburger. Okay, so apply the hamburger menu transition. So in the hamburger, when you hover over the navigation hamburger icon, it will open up, or it will show all the div with the div items. Okay, or what you can see is when you hover over the hamburger icon, it will change the icon from three hamburgers to cross. Okay, you need to try this and let me know. So there are also in the animation, one more thing is what we call as the keyframes. Okay, in the keyframes, that is also important part. Also, I will be covering that part. Just give me a minute, more 5 minutes, and we'll tell you, because the keyframes is are also very important part in the animation part. So let's complete it. Okay, so here what we're gonna do is, let me cover the animate keyframing things. Okay, okay. So let's learn more about the animation. So let's define a class animate, and here animate. So let's give it an animation name to it. Animation name slide animation timing function. Give it a like ease hyphen in hyphen out. Okay, so and you want to start at a delay, so and delay animation hyphen delay. We need to start at something around delay of 1 second. Then the next thing is animation, how many times the animation will continue. So animation, okay, iteration count will be 5, like it will continue for the 5 times. So for this we have the animation name for different time frame, how the animation will work. So add a keyframe, the animation name at the start, that is the 0%, how the animation will work. Okay, at the 0.0% we'll do the transform and translate along the x-axis 0. Well, it will be at its initial position. Okay, then let me copy this. Then after something around 30%, okay, it will translate along the x-axis. It will move something around 300 pixel or 400 pixel, and do a rotate, only rotate 188 degree. Okay, then you can see at 60% how it will work here. Let me copy this. But this will again reverse back, again move back, save anti-clockwise, then at 100% how it should work. Let's at 100%, it comes back to its initial position. Okay, and let's set the background color to something around 5. Just give me a minute. Save it. Let's see if it, you can see now. Mm, okay, so here are the few changes. What we need to do is one more thing. Is it all right? Animate. Yes. Hello is. Let's skip it. Okay. So I will share this part. So animation name is in out, animation timing function is there, duration is there. So I'll share this code. So basically this what will happen is this animation will start at so this is the identifier keyframe, so which we are identifying. Animation name is slide. We at the beginning of the animation, what it will be at its initial position. Okay, so I think there is one issue with the code. Just give me a moment. Let me share the. Just give me a minute. Just give me a minute. Let me check this. Yeah, I will be sharing the code. Okay, I'll be sharing the code and I will show the code whole at the once. Mm, but I think there is some issue with it. Okay, I'm sharing this code. Okay, so the hamburger one you guys need to complete. That is the one major assignment you guys need to do, and this animation you guys need to complete. Okay, so I will share this code. Okay, I will complete the code. Sorry for keeping you waited for long. So complete this animation. So what we have done, we have covered the animation part. We have learned about some of the. We have got an idea of the techniques, modern techniques. We have learned about the styling. We have built different structure and all. So yes, did you find this class interesting? Did you learn something new? Yes. How many of you found or learned something new in this particular session? Yes. Was it interesting? Okay. Thank you, Anurag. All right. So that's it for today. In case if you have doubt, we'll take 5 minutes or else we'll end the session right here. All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. If you have any queries, if you have, you can just let me know. You can ask me right here, and or else we'll end the session right here. All right. Any questions? Any doubt? Anything you have in mind? I'll share the code at the end of this. At the end of this, I will share whole code with you guys, so no need to worry about it. All right. I'll show this animations and we'll end this code. All right. So that's it for today. Can you tell how to slide? Just apply the transition transform property along the x-axis, transform along the x-axis positive direction, and transform along the y-axis negative direction. So accordingly, it will move along the x and y axis accordingly. Positive the value which you are adding in the transform translate along the x-axis. So accordingly, positive value it will move to the right, negative value along the x-axis it will move to the left. Okay, clear? Just you, I think you have received the link. There is a upcoming Figma bootcamp. You can just enroll it, and certificate you will be. There is a link that is already shared. We can mark your attendance and get the certificate. Okay, all right. So thank you everyone for joining in. If you enjoyed the session, do hit a like. And there is one more session coming up in Figma. Just to enroll it. And if you want to join the ambassador program, the link is also shared. All right. So that's it for today. And then see you in the next class. Thank you for joining in. If you have any doubt, you can connect with the team and let us know. Goodbye. Good night. Have a great day.